right. Good morning, good morning. It is 6:31. It is February 3rd, and we have another fluid morning. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of TPLive.com. I'm the founder of Red Dog Mindset. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. I had a very cool weekend. Went to Tampa on Friday after trading the open and putting my stops in. I got to pick up my new bundle of joy. Everyone knows that I love my dogs, and besides you guys, Cadence passed away, and I got a new dog. Fitting her into the family. I would advocate getting a dog for the family or some kind of animal. It's awesome. And then, so it's been one of those weekends. And this morning, I did my 25-20 for the first time. So listen, guys, if you're tuning in from Twitter and you've been a member of the 630 Club since 2020, I've been doing this for 5 years now. So hopefully I've added value to your life. I've helped you work on your process. I've made you a ton of money doing a lot of different things. Well, now if you subscribe, besides getting the X's and O's from the 630 Club, all of my routine process and growth mindset will be going together with this behind the paywall. So, over the next few weeks and months, there'll be a lot more going on back there. So again, if you go hit the subscribe button and you've found value in the 630 Club, every single day getting you, on your game plan with your process and going over the keys to the day, the narratives and whatnot. Make sure that subscribe button. But anyway, listen, it's Monday morning and futures are down what? We're down about 90 handles. President did what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to put tariffs on, and he put tariffs on. And we had another Friday sell-off. So hopefully, if you know technicals, which I've taught you technicals for 30 years, you adjusted, you reduced some risk. And who knows, maybe a lot of guys who broke graded short are short coming in. You look at this candle. You look at you look at what happened here. Sounds a little off. Yeah. All right, Red Dog forgot his headset. Anyway, so let's go over this one more time here. So first, before look at this candle. Okay, look at this Red Dog reversal, a bearish candle. So anyone who's good at shorting the stock market or looking for a reason to reduce positions. Right here, it got above 606.60 and couldn't hold it. Okay, that's a sell rule, right? I posted my sell rules. I've been posting sell rules here for 20 years, and they're the same exact sell rules that worked 10 years ago that worked on Friday. If you're up money in a position, you sell some strength to book some money and net some money. Yay! Don't you have to net money in order to get paid for January? Okay, and then what you do is if it doesn't hold a prior level, so if you thought it was going to break out and get above 610, it couldn't even hold 606.60, that's another sell signal. And then if it takes back more than half of a prior candle, it's showing you some bearish power. So I got to believe there's a lot of people out there on Friday made adjustments without me here telling them, and stopped out of some risk and maybe got short. And once again, like I said before, it is February 3rd. If you haven't seen, there is a subscribe button, okay, on the top of my Twitter. For those of you who are really excited, what you should be, you can now combine 20 and 520, which is the mindset and the routine and what I've been doing for 30 years in order to stay in this job. I've seen traders come and go. I've seen big traders make huge money, and now they have limousine services in the Hamptons because, they didn't have their mind right. Okay, they let their highs get too high, their lows get too low. They haven't been even keel. I've seen guys make money but have no consistent process, and they made money for 1 month and they got pushed out of the market. And then I've seen people who are on the alpha team that trade for a living. I've been doing this every single day. I've learned how to put their routine and process into place, make a real career out of this. So if you've been with me from the 630 Club since 2025 years of Monday through Thursdays, and I've provided some really good value and some guidance for all your different time frames, I would click that subscribe button. Okay, and then what you could do is learn how to actually get your mind and win the morning so you could execute on these X's and O's better. So come a Friday when there's, tariff news and you need to go with your go time because maybe you haven't developed it or it's not strong enough, you reduce some risk when it couldn't hold 606.60 and basically closed on the lows. And now SPYs right here are down 8. Okay, 593.50, which is kind of around this spot. This is where we were a week ago, okay, and we bounced off it. This wound up being a great opportunity. I don't know if it's going to be as good of an opportunity, but we'll see. We were as low as 590. This would have been really cool if we would have been down here and stayed down here and had the opportunity at 636 to maybe be buying the SPYs or covering. Maybe you guys are covering your shorts because this is a bearish candle. So that could have been a great opportunity for you to cover shorts. Or get short, and then, we'll see what happens here. At this point, look at the Qs real quickly. The Qs also, look at that. It looked like it was going to get above this ascending trend line, made another lower high. So what does a lower high tell you? It tells you, hey, reduce some risk, maybe get short. And now the Qs themselves, are down 844 at 513. So where's 513? 513 is below, 517, but above where we were at 510. So not horrible. Okay. Obviously, we're down a decent amount, a little bit off lows. Most of Europe was down like 1.8%. We're down 1.4. The Nikkei was down 2.6. And here we are. So again, if you reduce it, look where we came from. It got above a high, couldn't hold it. Reduced risk on Friday. I reduced a lot of risk on Friday. Unfortunately, I wasn't on my seat to get short, but it is what it is. I had to go get Phoenix. Okay, that's the balance in my life. It was time to get my new dog. She was ready. She was 10 weeks old, and now I'm going to have her hopefully for a decade plus. Anyway, so last week we had earnings. Last week, Meta, if you remember, Meta was the key to Monday. Meta was the key to Monday. Why was it the key to Monday? It went green and it made a new all-time high while we were trying to figure out how much Amazon and Google and other things we could buy to go red to green. To me, Meta is not as much of a key right now. It's a little bit, okay? Meta already reported. This was last week. If you remember last week, okay, yeah, this candle was a healthy candle. That was your candle on Monday that said, hey, maybe you could buy some Amazon, maybe you could buy some Tesla, maybe you could buy some Google, because if Meta can make a new all-time high prior to earnings, chances are, we're not that weak, and there's opportunities out there. So at this point now, Meta's low is what? 676, which is right here. And then you have the 8-day, which is closer to, what is that, 665. So these are your levels on Meta. I might trade Meta. I might buy a dip here in Meta today, but to me, it's going to be a little loose and wide, and there's no real catalyst this week. It already had its earnings, so people aren't going to be as focused. So I don't think Meta is as much of a leading indicator. So this is 674. Okay, if it holds 676, that's impressive. So if you sold some strength and you're looking to buy it back, that's impressive. What I will probably be focusing on is, to be honest, is that I don't have any Amazon on. I got on Amazon pretty well last week. Amazon's got numbers. Okay, this low here is what, 232. So what I'm probably going to do is I am probably going to be buying options for Amazon into earnings, because it still has earnings this week. Amazon earnings are February 6th, so in 3 days. So if Amazon's going to be taking out 241 and have a solid report, it's always better to be a buyer, pre-earnings when things are lower. It's a 233. So if you were thinking about buying Amazon options for earnings, I do think today is a day you nibble some. I have no Amazon, so I'm in good shape right here. Google, if you remember, I bought last week and I was trimming. We actually even had it on as a power play. If you want a great service where I tell you what to do, last week was a great week for us. And then, holding some things into volatility today, this week's going to be a little trickier, but, we had a lot of things that worked out very well, and Google was one of them. Google had a nice 1, 2, 3-day move above the all-time high. It gave us almost an earnings trade before numbers, okay? And numbers are, what day is Google? Google is tomorrow. So what I will be doing is, all I have now is a tiny bit of Google and a tiny bit of options. I will be adding to my options, and maybe I'll trade it today. So I think Amazon and Google, could be something that I'm focusing more on to see if I could buy them versus a 5, 15-minute low. Last week, in the first hour, everything put a low in and grinded higher and was up on Tuesday. It was a great trade. Sometimes the trade doesn't do the exact same thing, but I'm thinking that, today could be a great opportunity if you're in the right mindset. I've been up since 4:45. I've been reading my macro notes. I know that Trump's meeting with the guys from Canada also and Mexico, so maybe he comes out and relaxes what he said on Friday, and we reverse. Or people are just reducing risk at this point. Again, the preparation and thinking clearly is what's going to have you execute today and maybe potentially make you really good money. My biggest risk today is Tesla. Tesla, I put on pre and post earnings. I did get stopped out of a little bit of my size because it failed to hold right here. I was hoping that it would hold above 412. It did hit 420. So I reduced a little bit. I am in Tesla. It's down 10. Okay, so I am down in Tesla. Yes, I am. We actually in our power plays bought it around 399 and sold the third into 418. So now maybe we could look to buy it back. This level right here is 384. If Tesla does not hold 384, me as an active trader who trades for a living, I've been trading for a living for 30 years, and for 30 years I've been working on my process and my routine, which I've been helping you guys do. So 384 is the spot. If it doesn't hold there, then it gets choppier, and then I just have to be more tactical. When things are acting special, where you could hold them and buy a dip and sell into some strength and add through price points, that is when you hold them. When they get choppier and it gets predatory, guess what? You get more day trading. Like if you keep getting screwed up in these, tariff or DeepSeek or whatever type of moves, and you're giving it back your whole day, and you're not, then do a little less. Listen, guys, Apple. I remember Apple came out with numbers, was up 7. I'm like, guys, this is probably a spot where it won't be able to get through, which was 247. Did I think Apple was going to not only fail at 247, but go red, not hold 241 and come all the way down like that? That's a big move lower. Some guys were shorting it on the open and made their month, on Friday, and they had puts up the yin yang. For me, I didn't even just touch it because it was I don't know. I haven't been that active with Apple. But today I'll look at Apple, from 247 down. Now Apple's down another 4, 231. What's this level here? This is 233. We'll see what kind of market discovery we get today. So I will look at Apple, and that's also another clue that to take risks down. If the best company in the world, which is what Apple is, gets sold on their earnings and grinds down all day long, you have to be a little bit more careful. All right, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. I have 22 guys commenting. Jeff Jezo says, are we winning? Are we winning yet? I don't get what you mean. Okay. Google, yes, Abdib. I will be looking at Google probably to buy more and add some options for earnings. We have Jim Calvert from Yorkshire, UK saying, good morning. Can you do the workout later? Or yeah. So basically the 20 at 520 that I do, it's going to be live every day at 520. Whether you're up at 520 and want to do it with me is cool, but then it's also a link on demand. So just say you're up, and you want to watch a 6:30 club, and then say, hey, I want to do my little workout now that I did my preparation, I have my X's and O's, I want to get my mind right, and I want to think about my positions, think about what I have to do with them. I want to do, my morning workout at 7:30. That's what an on-demand link is for. So you could do it later. And listen, I'm in my sauna. Not everyone has a sauna. Some people have a mat. Some people have a towel. Bottom line is, I'm just trying to get you to do the right thing in the morning. What's the right thing in the morning? Drink some water. What's the right thing in the morning? Think about, your positions, what you might have to do based on probabilities. You know what else you should do? You should send your mom and dad a text saying good morning. If you have the luxury and your mom and dad are still alive, send them, say good morning. Hope you're feeling well today. Maybe send your kid a little text and say, hey, have a great day, champ. I'm proud of you. Little things that put you in the right frame of mind so you could, get empowered for your day. Little things that, hey, if you had a bad day with the X's and O's because you had too much risk on and you didn't, make adjustments with your go time, maybe, the next time you do it. So anyway, so that subscribe button is right there. So I would subscribe, especially if you've been watching the 630 Club for 5 years and that's all you've been doing. And we've been working it out together. Well, let's do it even better. Okay. Anyway, Danielle's saying Nvidia. Nvidia was probably my biggest disappointment on Friday. I thought I was going to be making a lot of money in Nvidia. That wound up not being the case. I lost a little bit. Nvidia has been in the penalty box. Nvidia, ever since the DeepSeek news, hasn't been working great. Okay. I was here on Friday morning. I bought Nvidia in the hole. And by the time I was on my way to the plane to go get my dog, I saw it up $1.50. Thank goodness for trade support. I had some offers out. I sold Nvidia up $1, up $2, and then all of a sudden, I had a big potent move lower. I'm like, ooh, what was that? And then I wound up getting stopped out. I did buy a little bit of options, which is risk is premium paid. But other than that, I don't have Nvidia. And for today, I think Nvidia is very important. Why do I think it's important? Because is Nvidia going to hold 116 and a quarter, or is this going to be a bear flag that works lower? The market's been able to pretty much ignore Nvidia here and there. It's not the same thing. It's not like, Nvidia's up, market's up. Nvidia, think about where the S&P was at. The S&P was near highs on Friday, and Nvidia was down here. So Nvidia is not as important as it was a year or two ago. So things change, relationships change, so you have to figure out what's leading what. And at this point, Nvidia right now is down $3. It's at 117. So if Nvidia tries to bounce, maybe you could be a buyer versus a 515 low for it to, for cash flow, or market tries to bounce, Nvidia doesn't bounce, and then if Nvidia breaks 116 and a quarter, it could work to 104. It could go lower. Things change, leadership changes. Right now, everyone's like, Red Dog, DeepSeek. What do you think happens? What's the 3-month scenario? What's the 6-1? Well, I'm like, let's just talk about the next few days. From the guys that I read that are pretty smart, they think overall it could be a positive because it's going to bring down the cost of AI. AI is going to continue to get more powerful. It's going to continue to get more uses. It's going to help companies like in Amazon. It's going to help companies that use AI. Their spend will be less, but it might hurt the margins of something like in Nvidia. Maybe there will be, second and third tier players that come in that kind of copy it and do it cheaper. So if you remember, we had a big week with Baba. Baba was awesome last week. I made a lot of money in Baba, first time I think in a year or two. But again, you could sell into some strength. We sold into strength the prior day, so I had the luxury of buying some Baba options, lower. So the question is, with earnings coming out Wednesday, right? That's when earnings I think are coming out. That's what a few of my guys said. Will it hold? And then could it potentially take out this high of 103.67? So I'm going to watch Baba today to see. Maybe, it's lower and you could be a buyer of the dip. Where's Baba? Baba's only down $1.67. It's not the end of the world. And you could see, hey, does Baba hold? Let's see, let me get this out of the way. Oh, does Baba hold? This right here is 96.45. So maybe Baba is buyable versus what I'll probably do is I'll add a little bit more options and I'll wait for a signal to see if I could buy some Baba versus that spot, because Baba to me is going to be one of the bigger winners from the DeepSeek, because they said that they actually have something 3 times better, and people probably trust Baba a little bit more than they trust whatever the companies that are going to be making Me Too products to a Nvidia. So anyway, you then go to the weekly chart of Baba and you'll see that it's done a whole lot of nothing for a while now. Remember when Baba was awesome? That's when the Chinese markets were better. It's been down here since 2022 and just poked its head up. So for me, it's on my radar. Last week was on the A list. I think this week it might be on the A- list, and we'll see how it gets done. Yeah, crypto got me out of crypto also. Why should you have been out of IBIT? Okay, on what's it called? On Friday, because it also gave you a sell signal. I got stopped out. Why did Red Dog get stopped out? Because I try and put levels in for when the trade changes. So I had IBIT. I was a little bit more granular with it, right? We remember the turkey trot. Remember those funny little memes I had of turkey, the turkey running the turkey trot at 80,000 though. No, actually at 62,000, saying it's gonna get to 85. Then 85 I had Santa doing the 100,000 dash. That alone made people so much money. And a lot of just 630 Club guys, besides everyone that really tunes into the Alpha Team and our T3 stuff. But anyway, look what happened here. If the IBIT was going to be special, it should not have broken 59.60, right? If it was going to hold up here and continue above 61.75, it should not have broken, 59.60. So when it broke 59.60, you should have got out of some. If you give things more room, maybe you give it more room. All I know is I got stopped out of some when it broke 59.60, and then there was a low of the day. I got off the plane, get the dog. I saw the low of the day. I sent into trade support, put a stop in at the level, which was the low of the day, and it stopped me out. So thank goodness right now I do not have any IBIT on. I might add this morning. This is 54. So right here, this is actually 54-ish. So hey, maybe it's an opportunity. But again, look at that candle on the weekends, which will be in Red Dog Mindset from now on moving forward. I go over different ways to see signals and different chart patterns and different ways to read candlesticks, right? Well, here, that's a bearish candle. That should have got you out right there. That could have saved you a lot of money and a lot of pain coming in today. But anyway, listen, it's a new week. January is over. Um, February, we'll see what the month gives for us. At this point, here are the spies once again. I know for me, I put some goals down on paper that I wanted to do for January besides trading. One of them was I want to fast on Mondays. I want to, put some tougher obstacles in front of me to keep my mind focused where, I want to make commitments to a goal and keep it. And I've been doing that. So hopefully if you've been fasting on Mondays, congratulations. If you did the 90-day challenge, for me, I want to get rid of 10% of what I don't want. So it's been no beer, no French fries, no chips, no bread on a sandwich. I went from 194, I'm like 187. That's fine for a month, but it's been real weight. I took it down real calories. I'm going to be doing that for 3 months. And then if you've been doing your push-ups, we'll be tracking them in Red Dog Mindset. I think a lot of people are in the push-up challenge with me. I've been doing push-ups for 25 days with Chase, so I suggest doing it with one of your kids. So this way you get some together time and you get in shape. If you screwed up January because you had too many things going on, well, guess what? It's the first Monday in February. Recommit to yourself, recommit to your health, recommit to pro-growth mentalities, and recommit to your career. Okay, if you're tuning in, chances are you've been trading for a living, and you're hopefully doing pretty well between the 630 Club and now you have both of these. If you trade for a living, though, what you really should do is you should be on the Alpha team. The Alpha team has over 500 plus traders from around the world sharing ideas, and they're pretty damn good. Each one of them has their own little niche on what they do and how they do it. And if you don't want to be logged in all day and you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, maybe a policeman, maybe a teacher, maybe someone who likes the market but doesn't do it for a living, a lot of people are starting to join the power plays because the power plays is just a really good setup that I think could work, that have the benefit of the doubt there for you. And you just want to be told what to do, because when my note goes out, I put together 40 charts, 40 different thought processes around 40 different names, usually the best names out there. And, if this happens, then that. And some of you guys don't want to figure it out. You just want to be told what to do. So everyone has a certain methodology on how they go about their life, their business. So you pick and choose which way you want to go. And if it's working for you, you work on that. And if you want to work on things that where your weaknesses are, then you better take accountability for that. What do you have to say? Say, hey, it's my fault. It's my fault I have too many stocks on coming into today. It's my fault I didn't see the sell signals on Friday. It's my fault that I wasn't prepared enough in the morning. It was my fault that I get up too late. I don't drink my water. I don't get my body moving. I don't put myself in a good mood to think clearly so I can execute on the X's and O's and make money. Once you say it's my fault, then you can make changes. And if you want to make changes, you have to, or you have to raise your standards. So once again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Palantir earnings are after the close. Push that subscribe button. Let's continue to do this together, and let's just do it better. There's so many ways that we could do things better, and that's a small step in the right direction. All right, guys, I'm going to put together my 40 charts, and I'll be spending the rest of the day with the Alpha team. Later, guys.